Hey, my name is Dr. Chudi Ufondu of Snowspirations Global Health Solutions. Thank you and welcome to today's World Round. Today is the 22nd day of May 2021. In next few days, we're going to wrap up to say goodbye to the month of May. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. This weekend has been very terrible. We've had series of tragedies, personal tragedy. So please always cherish the day. If you're living in the land of the living, please remember to love on each other. Remember to be caring. Remember to be kind. Remember to take care of people. Remember to, check whatever you do every day and make sure you relate to people genuinely. Life ends. People are dying every day. Young people, elderly people, people in power, every single day. Show some compassion. When someone dies, please don't go celebrating, no matter what, no matter how you feel. The power of life and death is only in God's hands. Don't go celebrating people when they die. They are all humans. Okay, so it's just a word of advice. My prayer goes to all the families who are mourning today. My prayer goes to all the people that have lost their loved ones, especially this moment. Please, if you're in Nigeria, be careful. Be careful. It's not just about praying, oh, God do this, God do that. There are a couple of things you can do for yourself. You have to be very careful. Before you post anything out there, check. Yesterday, after the plane crash, people were carrying about the news about the wife of the chief of army staff dying. Unfortunately, she didn't die. She's still alive, but they've already classified her as dead. So let's be careful. Social media is filled with a lot of evil things. So be careful. Remember, there are families who are mourning out there. No matter how you feel, please show some love to people, no matter what. There is no life better than the other. Nobody's life is better than the other. Every singular Nigerian that died must be mourned. Every singular one. No exceptions. They have families. We have families. It could have been anybody. So be careful using social media. Be careful how you talk. Be careful how you condemn. It's very important. As I'm talking to you guys now, someone is terribly in a very bad place. Someone just lost their husband, a brother, a friend, and it's painful. So be careful, okay? But this afternoon, we're going to talk about everything we need to know. It's Word Round, so it's Snowspirations, weekend Word Round. So Word Round is an opportunity to interface with me and ask your questions. We normally spend 30 minutes for our clinics, but we're going to have an extension of extra 30 minutes. So in the next 1 hour, you will have an opportunity to interact with me. You're going to get feedbacks. It's going to be evidence-based. Whatever I'm telling you today, it's advisory. At the end of the day, you can decide if you're going to use it to get results. Whenever you see me showing up, I'm result-oriented. I don't show up for sentiments. I will give you an example. One of our members asked about a blocked tube, right? A blocked tube. Now, blockage of your tubes can be in different ranges. It can be in different classes. It can be in different positions. Now, I want you to pay attention. Your tubes are mechanical structures. The role of your tubes, 3 basic roles, right? The first role is to allow the eggs, which will be released from the ovaries. So every woman has 2 ovaries, left ovary, right ovary. So what's the first role of your tube? When you ovulate, which by default, you already have the eggs. God has already given you eggs as a woman. The moment you're born a girl, you have an egg or eggs, a lot of them. That's what you're going to use to start your family. So what's the function of the tube? The first function, when you release your egg in a month during your ovulation, that egg will enter the tube. When the egg gets to the tube, it will stay in a special place called the ampulla. Now you have 2 tubes, right? You have 2 ovaries. So left ovary can release an egg, right ovary can release an egg. Whichever one that releases the egg, it doesn't matter. The major duty is for the egg to get to the tubes. Now, when it gets to the tube, it's going to wait for the sperm in the ampulla. Now, if the other end of the tube, which comes from the womb, is open, when a man ejaculates, ejaculation is the peak of sexual intercourse. When you meet your partner at the peak of sexual intercourse, you're going to release the semen. Semen is what you can't see visibly. Semen is what you can see visibly, but sperm is something you can't see visibly, right? Now, per ejaculate, you have millions of sperm. When they get to the womb, they will begin the upward journey through the open tube. So the tubes are opened in two places, the side of the womb and the side of the ovary. When the sperm gets to the ampulla, the egg is already there. Now, listen to me carefully. The egg has to be fertilized within 48 hours maximum. So assuming the tube is open and the egg is good, quality egg, your eggs begins to depreciate from age 35 and above, both in number and quality. But if you have very good eggs and you release one egg and it's waiting in the ampulla and the sperm comes in and the sperm is good quality, now you're going to have millions of sperm, but only one out of the million will begin the journey of marrying the egg. When the sperm meets the egg, it's going to enter the nucleus, the cell of the egg. It has a wall. The sperm is going to break the wall and enter inside the egg. And once both of them agree, they will form a union. The union of the egg and the sperm is called embryo. That process is called fertilization. That's the beginning of making a human being. The mother will bring, so the egg is going to come with 23 sets of chromosomes. The sperm is going to come with 23 sets of chromosomes. When the sperm is coming in, the father can decide to bring the X chromosome or he can decide to bring the Y chromosome. The woman can only bring the X chromosome. So if the man brought the X chromosome and the wife will bring the X chromosome, they will produce a girl. So I want to take time to explain this so you will understand, because so many people come in, the worst thing you can post in our timeline is to come in and tell me, oh, what God cannot do does not exist. That's a blanket statement that has kept so many people in the same position. I'm a believer of God. I'm a very, very good practical Christian. But please, don't use Bible verses to stop yourself from knowing your reality. There is a reason why God made it possible for doctors to be around, so that doctors can help you when you have a problem. When your two tubes are completely blocked, some people can even have salpingectomy. That means we've cut off your two tubes, and you're still telling me what God cannot do does not exist, and you do not have that bridge. You're deceiving yourself. God already gave us a knowledge that we can still become pregnant by going through IVF. I can understand if you don't have the resources to go for IVF. But when you begin to tell me things you should know by default, things that God has already given you the knowledge, the right kind of prayer you should be saying, it's not to be deceptive. Just like the Hebrew women prayer. A woman is in need of CS, but she's there, binding and casting CS, waiting to and will bleed to death. Will lose the baby, will lose the woman. And the man will marry another woman in a few weeks' time. You look, there are certain things you cannot compromise in 21st century. You can't be a member of this group and you don't know all these things. So the state of your tube is very important. Now listen to me carefully. If your tube, it's mildly blocked, mild adhesions, mild damage, when you go for your HSG, which is a standard test that all women who are having infertility must go through. Your HSG is a standard test which you use in checking to see if your tubes are open or not. When you go for HSG, if you have mild blockage, the fluid we use in doing HSG can dislodge that mild blockage. You can still become pregnant. When you have a moderate blockage, we can use some procedure which we call hydrotubation, which is a popular flushing. We can try and see if we can dislodge that. But here's the problem. The tubes are very sensitive. So when you are correcting the problems in the tube, you can be creating further problems. So if we are going to the tube to remove adhesions, if the surgery is not done by a micro-invasive surgeon, you are gonna cause further damage. And even if we remove the blockage in the tube, it's for a temporal period within which you have to either go for IUI or you go for IVF. Once the tube is damaged, the integrity of the tube is damaged, is affected. Now, besides not being able to become pregnant, some people can have the eggs coming, the sperm coming, fertilization will occur, but because of the damage in the tube, they will have ectopic pregnancy. Your tube is not meant in such a way to allow pregnancy to develop in the tube. The tube cannot carry a baby. When the baby refuses to go down to the womb to implant and starts developing in the tube, it's called ectopic pregnancy. It's deadly. It can kill. You can bleed to death. The life of the mother is at stake. Definitely that baby is not viable. So what I'm telling you is scientifically and medically proven. So when you come to my page and you bring all those religiosity, it pisses me off because I'm here to help. The common denominator is to have a baby, right? So it's my duty to tell you what you need to do to get a baby. I'm not here to preach to you for you to be around for 20 years and you still be doing what you've been doing. There are some women that have gone for flushing 5 times in a year. What are you flushing? You need to accept your reality. You need to take your bold step. When you begin to run on God, when you begin to say God this, God, but you're not doing your own part because you are praying the wrong way. Any woman going through infertility should be asking God, God, please show me the way. God, please show me the doctor. God, please guide the person that will do my IVF. God, please guide the person that will do my IUI. This is practical prayer. You can't be married for 10 years and you're saying the same prayer you have been saying since 10 years. That's not a good prayer. Your prayer should be proactive prayer. You should be practicing your PPP. When you have prayed, you don't go to sleep. You make love. When you have made love, you don't go to sleep. You see a fertility specialist. That's who you need. In the same vein, so many people want to have twins. So many people want to have triplets. So many people want to have quadruplets. But you don't want to take the bold step to go for it, knowing fully well that any woman at any age can have multiple pregnancy. Even when you don't have a familiar history of multiple pregnancy, you can take a bold step, be courageous, and you can end the infertility in your family. It has happened before. It can happen to you if you take bold step. 90% plus of people you see out there having more than one baby, they went for IVF. So when you see babies, when you see people that had pregnancy positive, ask them, please, my sister, tell me what you did. Let me do what you did. When I share posts, I'm sharing to encourage you. So you love babies, right? You love the pictures, you do all the stuff. Are you willing to do what they did? Or are you doing everything you've been doing previously and you're trying to get results? Knowing fully well that anybody at any time can become pregnant naturally. God is the only person that can decide that. But you have to help yourself. You cannot be 60 and you're telling me you're waiting for God to come down from heaven and put baby in your book. No. When you're 60, what do? You present yourself to a fertility specialist. You agree to use donor eggs. You agree to use donor sperm. And you become a mother like other people. That's practical prayer. But you cannot be praying for 10 years. What kind of God are we praying for 10 years? And God doesn't listen. God is telling you to identify a fertility specialist. God is telling you to use different methods of becoming a mother. You can become a mother through different methods. So many. You can become a mother naturally. You can become a mother through IUI. You can become a mother by going for fertility treatment. You can become a mother by going for donor egg, donor sperm, surrogacy, IVF, adoption. They are all pathways of becoming a mother. Your own motherhood is not better than the other person. They are the same. We have families that have blended family. I have a particular family that started with natural birth. Then they stepped up and went for IUI. Then they stepped up and went for IVF. Then they went for surrogacy and they adopted. They are a family of 7. Are you telling me when you come to that family, we begin to ostracize some kids? No, they are the same thing. Matter of fact, let me tell you the truth. If you are considering adoption, please go. Adopted babies open doors for other babies. It has happened before. I have a friend who the wife had 9 miscarriages at a sitting. At the 10th miscarriage, they said no. They went and adopted twins in Nigeria. When they came back here, they became pregnant. And they succeeded in having that baby. So my people, listen to God. Don't be deceived by the doctrine that you don't understand. In the same vein, some people are waiting for Hebrew. Some people want to deliver like Hebrew women. Meanwhile, your vaginal birth is not favorable. If you go to the vaginal birth, you can die. Your baby can die. And you're there preaching the Hebrew women and you're dying. It doesn't make sense. When you don't know, if you notice, I'm someone that seeks knowledge. When I don't know, I ask. Okay, yesterday someone asked about fallopian tube. So a lady from South Africa, she was asking, oh, doc, if I have fallopian tube, what can I do? Should I go and remove it? And I have to carefully explain to her that fallopian tube is a normal thing. Every woman is supposed to have fallopian tube. So the fact you have fallopian tube is not an abnormal thing. It's actually abnormal when you don't have fallopian tube. So when you come in, I know you might have learned a lot of things, your knowledge base and all those things, but please come in. I'm trying to help you to become a mother. I'm trying to help you to become a father. This is May. My sister, listen to me carefully. If you're among the 59 people listening to me right now, if you're 35, you don't have time. You do not have time. Your time is limited, both in quantity, both in quality. Your eggs are being depreciated. You're fast tilting towards menopause. And when you get to menopause, you have used your eggs. God doesn't make mistakes. God knew why he gave you a particular quantity of eggs so that you will have enough. Everybody's not going to marry early, right? So even in your 40s, even in your mid-40s, when you begin to experience problem, who do you go to? A specialist. God made it possible for doctors to know how to deliver babies who cannot be delivered through the vagina. Do you know that in the era of our great mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, they didn't have CS. So many of them died delivering. So imagine if we are in the era where we don't have CS and a woman is having contracted labor and a woman is having obstructed labor, they will all die. Because if you don't have your baby through the vagina, nobody can open your womb. But God gave doctors knowledge to be able to open the belly of the woman, open the womb, and bring out the baby, and you're still okay. But so many people are shaming women that are going for IVF. So many people are shaming women that are delivering their baby through CS. And we sit back and we call ourselves Christians. You're not a Christian. You're just trying to be righteous. That's not Christianity. The biggest Christianity you can practice is love. You show love across the border. Tomorrow you're planning to go to church. You're planning to classify women. Oh, if you don't have a baby, sit here. If you have a baby boy, sit here. If you have a baby girl, sit here. What kind of Christian are you? You're not a Christian. You're not a Christian. Okay? So I just wanted to make this clear so that we can understand that. Now the clinic is going to open and I'm ready to provide you feedback. So please, if you need help, follow my admin. If you want to consult with me, make sure you're ready. I'm only ready to consult serious people. So if you and your partner are committed, you and your partner must be on the same page. If your husband is not on the same page, please make sure your husband is on the same page before you come to me, because I can only consult both of you on the same page. I don't want the woman wanting to have a baby and the father is refusing to go for semen analysis. Then you're not ready. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your resources coming to me if you're not ready. Please keep your money until you're ready. I want people that are united. I want a man that will be very willing to go when I tell him to go. I want a man that will be ready to listen and know that the problem can be coming from him. You need to be practical. So if you're not ready, please don't come. But if you are tired of not having a baby, please come. You can come for 1 week. You can come for 1 month. You can come for 3 months. You can come for 6 months. Now, if you are already pregnant, please listen to me carefully. We do not want to jeopardize the child. You have to register for your ANC immediately. 9 months is a long time. An average pregnancy will last for maximum of 42 weeks. Beyond 42 weeks, we must bring that baby out. But unfortunately, you go out there, some people believe that somebody arrested their baby inside their belly. They're carrying babies for 11 months, for 2 years. Who is teaching you that nonsense? So every pregnant woman in this group, if you're listening to me, the best thing you can do for your baby is to be smart. A smart mother will register for her ANC immediately. A smart mother will go for blood test. A smart mother will go for ultrasound. Unfortunately, I don't know, for some reasons, I've had terrible outcome for so many of my clients. Starting from yesterday, I lost 2 babies. Today again, I lost another baby. And unfortunately, there is nothing you can do about it. Some women can be positive when they go for their urine test, when they go for the blood test. Below and behold, when they go for the ultrasound, it's an empty sac. It's not because you did something wrong. It can happen to anybody. It's called blighted ovum, right? It's very painful. Now, some women can have preterm birth. Some women can have preterm labor. Some women can have a lot of complications in pregnancy. This is why you need to be under the doctor, so that if we identify a problem you're having, we can do our best. An average pregnancy is supposed to last up to 37 weeks. When you get to 37 weeks, you're classified as STEM. If your baby decides to come before then and you have the good facility, you can send the baby to neonatal intensive care unit and we can take care of the baby. And when baby is okay, you can go home. Every singular baby deserves to live. Every singular pregnant woman deserves to see her child. Every expectant dad deserves to see the child. Every child deserves to have the father and the mother alive. But your attitude, your knowledge base, your practices, and your perceptions can stop you or can make you. So the most important thing you need is knowledge. If you have the right knowledge, you can change your attitude, you can change your approach. There are so many people that would have become grandparents today if they are not going to the church they are going to. Some of your pastors might have deceived you for the last 10 years. They are only coming in. Anytime you come in, they take your money, they take big money, and they pray big prayer for you. But you still don't have a baby. And they're still promising you that Jesus is going to come. But you also have an opportunity to be going to church and to be seeking the help of a fertility specialist. And when you see the fertility specialist, you can go for IVF. You can have 4 babies. You can have 3 babies. And you can still go to the church. And you can still be like other women. God is not deaf. God is not blind. God is not dumb. God has answered all our prayers. But you cannot allow human beings to deceive you. No, nobody can be God. God made every woman mothers. But people can become mothers at different times. So be wise. And if you need knowledge, you have knowledge in this group. The problem we have in the group is not knowledge. We have a lot. We have everything you need to defeat infertility in this group. By this time next year, so many women will become twin mothers. So many women will have triplets. So many women will have quadruplets. The question is, how? Are you ready? Or are you just going to show up and you drop messages? Yes, I want 4. I want 5. Now, what are you going to do about it? This is May. Are you going to take both steps? How many of you are ready to accept that their tubes are blocked? Then you need to step up for IVF. Or are you going to be around and you keep flushing the tube by December, and by December you're not going to get pregnant? Then you begin to see other women that did the right things. Anytime you see a woman pregnant, anytime you see a woman that delivered a baby, have a meaningful conversation with that woman and find out what she did, which you are not doing. We have turned religion upside down. We have turned Christianity upside down. If your Christianity is not working for you, look again. You might be doing the wrong things. Our Christianity is supposed to make us better. Our Christianity is supposed to help us to become parents, not to allow pain to linger. Your choice of parenting it's what you decide. If you want to be a mother in 2021, you can be a mother. It's a choice. Okay, enough of, it might look like I'm ranting, but guys, ask your questions now so we can get things started and I can provide you feedbacks. Go ahead and ask your questions. The clinic is open. Okay, it's one round, so you ask me questions, I provide you feedbacks. Okay, go ahead and ask. Admin, please also remember to share the links. On the 30th, that's about a week from today, we're going to have multiple pregnancy roundtable. We'll have 3 panelists. I'm going to be there. Dr. Ndiche is going to be there. Then Dr. Nkechi Ezirim, one of our beautiful providers in America, in Texas, she's also going to come. She's going to be our guest presenter. We're going to talk about everything multiple pregnancy. So if you're interested in attending, please follow the admin and register on time. We only have provisions for 100 people. So if you need the knowledge that will help you to become a pregnant mother of 2, 3, 4, please attend. Do not delay. Now, if you are blessed, if I have blessed you since you started following me since 2015 and you feel like paying back, the best way you can love people is to give. If God gave you excess, when you're paying for yourself, you can sponsor 10, you can sponsor 5, you can even sponsor 20 if you are enabled. The best way you can defeat infertility is when you rise, you take people up. Nobody can rise alone. Unfortunately, we are very selfish. When we come to the group, give me, doctor, tell me this, doctor, tell me that. Most people just want to have their babies and go. Life is not all about having babies. Life is about what you do for other people, not what other people did for you. Guys, ask your question. Okay, let me see. Doc, please, does vitamin C help to prevent preterm labor? No, my sister. If you have evidence of preterm labor, the first thing to do is to call your doctor. When you go to the doctor, they are going to admit you, they are going to monitor you, they're going to set some drips, they're going to do some drugs, they're going to retain you in the hospital to see if we can buy time. The nearer you are to 37 weeks, the better the outcome of your preterm labor. So if you're 34 weeks and you're in preterm labor, when you get to the hospital, what do? We're going to make sure that the baby is okay. We're going to make sure you're not leaking water. Then we can give you some steroids to mature the lungs, because the last organ in the body of a baby to mature fully is the lungs. Once the baby's lungs are fully mature, that baby can survive outside the body of the mother. This is why we use 37 weeks. Any baby that is born by 37 weeks, we're just going to check the baby and you can go home. But if your baby is born before 37 weeks, when we deliver the baby, we keep the baby in the hospital. We make sure the baby is okay before the baby goes home. Okay? So be careful. Don't go through the backyard or Appian way to use something when you're not a doctor. The only person that should attend to you as a pregnant woman or as a woman looking for a baby is who? A doctor, not your friend, not your pastor. Unfortunately, so many pastors have hijacked the jobs of doctors. They climb the pulpit, they begin to say things that are not within their jurisdiction. Your role is to be a spiritual leader. There are so many things you can do in spiritual realm. But when you stay on the pulpit and you begin to tell women not to go and seek medical help, you're not a good pastor. You should stop that. That's not your jurisdiction. Okay. At one point, can a woman that has gone for HSG test before begin to embark on IVF? So IVF is going to be decided by your fertility specialist. IVF is not the first line of treatment for fertility treatment. But if your two tubes are blocked, direct IVF without wasting time, especially if you're above 35. If your tubes are confirmed to be blocked completely, both of them, you have to immediately begin to accept your reality and immediately begin to go and look for money for IVF, because that's the only reliable way you can bypass the tube to become pregnant. Okay? Let's continue. Can IUI work with one tube? Yes. What you need as a woman to become pregnant is one tube. When the other tube is damaged and the other tube is open, you can still become pregnant, including becoming pregnant with more than one baby. So the answer is what? Yes. One of the criteria that must be met for you to go for IUI is to at least have one of the tubes open. If both tubes are open, it's a waste of time. Because in IUI, what do? We inject the sperm directly into the womb. Then we allow the sperm to start looking to go to the tubes. So the tube must be open if you're going for IUI. Okay? Okay. Does fibroid operation outside the womb reduce the number of CS1 it's supposed to have? Once we have opened your womb, it has counted as 1. In our group, we don't encourage women to go for CS more than 3 times. So unfortunately, if you've had myomectomy, whether it's outside the womb, whether it's inside the womb, is already counted as myomectomy because we gained access into your womb. So once you have checked 3 surgical procedures, please don't consider going for the 4th one. While your life is in danger, I want you to be around to look after the 2 kids you have or 1 kid. I don't want you dying when you're planning to have the 4th one because it can happen. So my cutoff point in this group is 3 CS. Unfortunately, when you've gone for myomectomy and CS are equal and opposite. The only difference is what we bring out. When you go for myomectomy, we are bringing out fibroid. When you go for CS, we are bringing out the baby. So be careful. I'm sure your doctors would have told you this. Unfortunately, some women will insist to do things they want to do, and they might still end up having babies. Some women can still have babies, but some of them might die looking for babies, or some of them might lose their quality of life. Will you rather have your babies and still be around than to have your babies, then 2 years you're dead and gone? The best person to look after your baby in this world is you, not your mother, not your grandmother, not your friend, not your twin sister. The best person to look after her baby is the mother. No other person can look after your baby than you. No other person. So be careful and be mindful. So many of you go to so many places you don't have any business. How can you go to a person that claims to be helping you to have a baby? They put their dirty fingers in your womb and they are fixing your womb. Some of them will climb on your womb. Some of them will take people's baby and give you. How can you do that to yourself? How can you even begin to live with that falsehood in life? There are so many places you have gone to you're not supposed to go to. You are not doing the right thing. You better come back home. It's not late. So be careful. I would rather you are alive and adopted a baby and went for surrogacy and still be around to live up to 90 years than for you to die at age 25. Life is good. You have to live to see it happen. You cannot die where you're looking for babies in the wrong place. Be careful. Okay, let's continue. When a woman puts cervical stitch in previous pregnancy, eventually lost the pregnancy, doesn't mean the woman will have to always put the stitches in the future. 100%. Once you have had early delivery, once you have had previous risk factor in regards to your cervix, subsequent deliveries are going to be used with sacrilege. So the stitch you're talking about is called cervical sacrilege. Once the integrity of your cervix is compromised, we have to intervene to make sure that the baby is going to be okay. Now, when your cervix are not strong, the baby is going to escape before 37 weeks. That's what we are planning to prevent. The only time your cervix should open, it's when you are planning to become pregnant. Once pregnancy is confirmed, we want the cervix to be completely closed on both sides, on the side of the womb and on the side of the vagina. We don't want it to be open. When it begins to open, your baby is going to come early. So when we are putting stitches, we are trying to build a wall so that your baby cannot come early. It's a helping process. So yes, is it possible to get a sperm donor for IVF? Why not? Why not? If your partner doesn't have good sperm, if your partner doesn't have sperm, if your partner has what we call azoospermia, donor sperm is what you need. And there is absolutely nothing wrong in it. Because if your husband doesn't have a sperm, then what will happen? You can't give nothing if you have nothing. You can only give something where you have something. So if you don't have sperm, you can go for donor sperm, and it's completely okay. And I will advise you to go early. If your mind is made up to go for IVF, don't waste time. Some of you will be coming up and down, I want to go. By the time you come back, you no longer have X. You might have the money, but you no longer have X. And when you no longer have X, what do? You go for donor X. You cannot avoid it. Okay? Okay, if your questions are not answered, it's not intentional. I still have about 30 minutes, so you can put your questions back. Admin, if I missed any question, please just keep putting it back. Keep dumping it on me, then hopefully I'm gonna, provide feedbacks. Someone is asking about the cost of IVF. I'm just gonna give you a range. So unfortunately, it's expensive. So if you're planning for IVF, you should have at least 1 million. Unfortunately, it's expensive. This is why you need to be careful. So if you're planning for IVF, it's important you go through a caring, experienced, evidence-based IVF providers. Especially, there are so many people that are claiming to be IVF providers, but they have not succeeded in one. So you have to do a lot of research. If you're in Lagos, it might be expensive to go to a particular place. It might be extra 50,000. It might be extra 100,000. It's okay to pay extra 50,000, to pay extra 100,000 and get good outcome, than to pay 500,000 and you don't have a baby and you lost your money. Now, when you're going, make sure you go with your partner. Make sure you ask them for your report. Anytime you see a doctor, anytime you have a test, HSG, hormone profile, this, that, ask them to give you your copy. This is 21st century. You can't come to me, I'm asking you a question, you're giving me verbal report. I don't believe your verbal report. I want to see the report from my colleague so I can interpret and tell you what's going on. Medicine is a process. So if you notice, I ask a lot of questions. I ask about 25 questions. Why? So I can build your case. So many people just know they can't have a baby. They don't know if it's coming from the woman. They don't know if it's coming from the man. They just know that we don't have a baby. Every singular woman having problems with having a baby is unique to you. No two people can have the same problem. So stop comparing your infertility with another person's infertility. Some of you will show up and say, oh, I went for IVF and 5 people that I went for, they all succeeded. It didn't happen for me. Why didn't it happen for you? Because your problem is unique. You cannot have the same problem. You cannot have the same infertility problem. Your tools might be blocked, but it might not be exactly at the same position. So 10 people can go for the same thing and 8 people can succeed or fail, and only 1 person can succeed. Why? Because that's when God wants you to succeed. So stop comparing your journey with other people's journey. Stop comparing your infertility with another person's, even if that person is your identical twins. Face your own problem squarely. Believe in God and believe in yourself. Now, if you come to my clinic, I normally encourage you guys to name your babies, right? That's the biggest step you can take in faith. Calling forth your babies as if they are, because they are. So if you've been clamoring, I want to be a mother, I want to be, and you haven't even named your babies, then you're not ready. I want you to name your babies. I want you to name exactly the number of babies you want to have. I want you to name exactly their names. I want you to picture their room. I want you to begin to incorporate them in that family. That's how to defeat infertility. There is no other way you can defeat infertility. I want you to look at 2022 and you begin to call forth your babies in 2022. This is what I want for you. This is practical way of defeating infertility. When you're practicing your PPP, you cannot become a mother by crying. You cannot become a mother by going to my post, and I'm telling you the truth. You say, oh, what God cannot. Like one person came to my post this morning. I was trying to teach a lady that actually asked me to genuinely tell him the truth, my options. And I told her, oh, go for IVF because your 2 tubes are bad. And the lady came in and said, oh, believe in God. What God cannot do does not exist. You use all those Bible verses and you confuse yourself and you think I'm not a believer of God. We don't have that liberty of time, especially Nigerians. You better wake up and do something. If you're a woman, your partner can still father a child at age 90. Do you understand that? You have a big disadvantage. If you're above 35, you need to have started acting today because you don't have the same chance. Your eggs are reduced. Your chances are reduced. You're fast getting to menopause. So take your bold steps today. Some of you want to become pregnant, but what's your game plan? What's your game plan? How are you going to get the pregnancy? You want to be a twin mother? How? You want to be a triplet mother? How? You want to have 5? How? And some of the how is staring at you. So many of you want multiple pregnancy. I put up a poll the other day. Almost 1,000 people want to have multiple pregnancy, right? Almost 1,000. Then attend the round table, which we're going to use to teach you what you need to know. Nobody is attending. You can't end 2021 the same. No. Your believing for baby status is temporal. I don't want any member of my group. Believe me, this is genuinely coming from me. I don't want you showing up in my clinic in 2022 as a woman still looking for a baby. No. You have to graduate from believing for baby to A and C. You cannot occupy space for other incoming women. You are occupying space. I want you to leave that believing for baby category and go to A and C because you're a mother. I don't want to see you next year. Believe me. If I see you next time, I'm going to bounce you. The people in A and C are going to have their babies at the end of 9 months. Then you're going to go there. That's the sequence. That's God's promises. This is practical Christianity. So I don't want you in this group in 2022 because you don't belong here permanently. Your permanent place is calling your babies, having your babies like other women. Your mother gave birth to you. Do you understand that true difficulties? When our parents gave birth to us, there was no IVF. They had difficulties. There was no good hospitals. So many of them had so many babies. Some mothers have 20. 15 survived, 18 survived, 10 survived. Now we have all the technologies we need. We have our phones in our hand. We have all our solutions. We are not taking both steps because we are trying to figure things out. But you're not God. Don't lean on your understanding. I'm challenging you today. If you are believing God to be a mother, what have you done? It's May. I'm challenging you particularly. Stop showing up. So many people have been following me since 2015. What is your report? Where is your outcome? What have you learned? What knowledge have you applied? Oh, doc, I don't want to go for donor egg. Oh, doc, I don't want to go for... One of their subscribers, she came and said, oh, my husband doesn't want IVF, but my husband wants IUI. How can you want IVF and you don't want IUI? What's the difference? You perish because of lack of knowledge. But you can't be in this ocean. Our group is an ocean of knowledge. You cannot be in our group and you're complaining of knowledge because you have everything you need in this group. Free of charge. So take your bold steps today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Stop crying about it. Stop complaining about it. There are some people that are waiting for you in church tomorrow, so you can tell them about your infertility journey. So they will use you as a prayer point. Oh, this sister has been looking for a baby for 10 years. Can we pray for her? No. Stop allowing anybody pity you. Do something about it. Stop right now. Refuse for people to pity you, but do something about it. Some of you want to become pregnant, right? But you're not making love to your partner. One of the ladies that subscribed to me said, but doc, I want to have girls, so I'm not really following that your current love making. Please teach me when to make love to have baby girl. And I said, really? So you don't believe what I'm teaching and you believe whatever you believe is going to work. And you're not making love and you're complaining. The only way for you to become pregnant naturally is to defeat infertility by regular love making, 48 hourly. There is no other person that can have immaculate conception. You cannot be sleeping in two different rooms and you're complaining you don't have a baby. It doesn't make sense. You can't have a baby without sleeping with your partner. You have to. Then when you have done your best, if you're 35 years and above, and you have done this religiously for 6 months, then you escalate. If you notice, we love referring people. When I don't know, I don't know. I send you to a person that knows. I don't claim to know anything. The problem in Nigeria, so many people, a young graduate from medical school can come out and be doing magic, and you guys will flood them. Or someone that didn't even go to standard 6. Some of the people that called you friends are the people that caused your infertility today. Because you're listening to them. Take Clomid. You can't take Clomid. Because they took Clomid. Is your body their body? Is your infertility their infertility? Then when you have messed your body up, you begin to come back. By the time you come back, it's already late. Unfortunately, some of you do not want the truth to be told, right? You flock to people that will pet you and pamper you. Oh, Dr. Chudi is always, look, I wish I can just be sleeping now. But God has put it in me to tell you this truth. You don't have that liberty of time. So the earlier you get things done right, the better for you. In our group, we share the knowledge. Whatever you do with the knowledge is your business. But please, if you need help, I can help you. Admin, please, can you post the locations we can refer people? Post the complete location. And admin, please capture all the keywords. Capture the PPP. Capture the 48-hourly love making. Capture prenatal multivitamins. There are key things you have to do. Today, I had a terrible experience. It didn't start well, but I'm okay. We cannot afford to lose not even one baby in this group. It hurts so bad losing a baby because I've been there. I know what my wife went through when we lost our baby. It's terrible. The biggest pain in life, it's looking for your baby and your baby is gone. There is no amount of comfort that will give you peace. That baby sticks with you for life. And we can prevent this. Some we cannot. But what we need to do, we need to do. And I'm talking to women today. You might not like the message, right? But this is the only way that will give you what you need. You cannot afford to be in this era of social media when you have the knowledge to be getting services you would have paid a lot of money, free of charge, and you're not taking action. You can't afford to miss this chance. You have to be a mother by 2022. You cannot show up again in 2022 not having your babies. No, you're not in the right group. Our duty is to show you the way. And it's not a quick fix. So don't come to me when you subscribe and you expect me to help you to become pregnant tomorrow. You're in the wrong place. You don't even show up. And it's not an emergency group. When you show up, you follow due process. When you follow due process, we will be there for you. And I will be, look, when you have me on your side, you have a solid guy, because I will fight for you. I've done it before. But you have to genuinely come as you are with your partner. So don't come to me and say, hey, doc, my husband refused, my husband does. Look, some of your husband, they don't even know what they are doing. Some of them do not even have sperm. And anybody can develop infertility at any time. You can have 12 babies last year, and this year you're having infertility. You can have 20 babies in 2019, and this year you don't have sperm. It can happen to anybody. And you can't put water in a closed jar now. You have to open the jar and put water. Some of you, what you know, you don't even want anybody to help you. And you're complaining. I know why I'm saying this. I'm led in the spirit to tell you today, if you are going through infertility, enough is enough. We are anti-infertility in this group. We are the biggest enemy of infertility globally. We have helped millions of people. Millions. There are so many people that never believed in their lifetime that they will become mothers. God didn't just give them one baby. God gave them Jara. In 2018, a mother came from Abuja with 1, 2 and no hopes. Today, she's a mother of 4. She's in Abuja. She's now called a multiple pregnant mother. She's now telling people about how to become, multiple babies. And so many other stories out there. People are traveling all over the world. Some people moved from their location outside Nigeria, went to Nigeria, got their babies. Today, they are all proud mothers. So what are you telling me? Are you telling me your own case is different? No. You need to get up, and we need to end this year. We cannot afford to enter 2022 the same. No. And God is in the business of putting Jara. You ask for 1 baby, God will give you extra baby. You're asking for 1 boy, God will give you 2 boys. That's practicality. But when you stay in your spot, you're not seeking a fertility specialist, you're not making love, you are only praying, and you're using the money you should use to go for fertility treatment. You're giving it to fake pastors. You're not going to get a baby. They are waiting for you to come back. But you need to be wise. You work for this money. You hustled for this money. And someone is deceiving you, and you don't get that baby, and they're still deceiving you, and you can't even see that they're deceiving you. It doesn't make sense. Guys, I have 10 more minutes. I'm sorry if I deviated from a couple of things I was meant to do, but this is the reality. As I'm dead, I have to tell you the truth. So if you still have questions, please keep asking your questions. Keep asking your questions. Is word round. If you have concerns, I think Dr. Ndiche came in, if I'm correct. Okay, Dr. Ndiche is somewhere, so she's going to be providing you feedbacks. But this is an opportunity to get feedbacks. Remember, the multiple pregnancy is coming up next Sunday. So we won't have a clinic next Sunday, but we'll have a clinic tomorrow. So we're going to get a topic. We're going to talk about it. But please, let's end this once and for all. I want you to be happy. We are fighting the same enemy. Infertility. And infertility is a coward. If you don't show up, it's going to bully you badly. But if you show up, it's going to run away. And that's my prayer for you. Okay. What's the meaning of robotic surgery? So, very good question. So, in robotics, instead of humans performing the surgery, computer-generated robots will be performing the surgery. So that's simply what it means. This is advanced technology. So in advanced places like America, there are a couple of surgeries. We'll just direct the robot on what to do. The robot will go in there and remove your fibroid, remove your surgery, do everything on its own, a robot. That's what we call the Da Vinci robot. So this is modern technology. If you have the resources, unfortunately, infertility is expensive. Okay? Fibroid is 9 cm is big. When your fibroid is bigger than 5 cm, it's very big. You need to remove it. Unfortunately, so many people love their fibroids. They so love their fibroids. You have heard so many bad stories about women. So you're holding fast to the fibroid without knowing that fibroid is what's stopping you from becoming a mother. You cannot, 9 cm fibroid is like 12 weeks pregnant. Some people have been carrying their fibroid for past 2 years, and they go to the village, they go to all these mischievous pastors, and they tell them that your grandmother in the village has arrested your baby, and your baby has been growing in your womb for the past 2 years. It's not true. Any baby that goes beyond 42 weeks is called post-date. We must bring that baby out. Your baby cannot survive inside your womb beyond 42 weeks. Don't quote me anytime. What you have is fibroid. And some of you will go to wrong places. They will go and take people's baby and give you. They will pump your body, and they will pump your belly, pump your belly will begin to swell by artificial hormones that can even lead to cancer. Then when they target the time a person will deliver a baby, they will go, and some people will even open you up. Some people will even cut your vagina to pretend that you were pregnant. But they are giving you people's baby. Come on now. This is the era of knowledge. You cannot be in SGHS water and you're drowning, or you're complaining of thirst. It doesn't make sense. Query everything. When you see your doctor, you ask questions. There is no woman that will become pregnant and they refuse to tell her to go for ANC. That doesn't exist. Every singular pregnancy must be confirmed through ultrasound. Every singular baby developing in your body, we have to see ikorokoro that is developing in your body. If we don't see it, there is a problem. We cannot afford this way. We cannot afford to go this way again, my people. No, we cannot afford that. Enough is enough. Okay? What are the causes of failed IVF? A whole lot. So many things can cause failure in IVF. It can be your age. It can be the quality of the eggs. It can be the quality of the sperm. It can be implantation failure. It can be hormonal imbalance. It can be your body weight. It can be the procedure. It can be the provider. It can be the storage. A whole lot of things. We are currently compiling our IVF manual. It's going to be a guide. It's going to be like a Bible. So be on the lookout. When we are done with that, we're going to offer it to you guys. It doesn't matter where you live. Even if you're in America, you can reach me, okay? Just follow the admin, but do the right things. So many people in America, you can still attend the multiple pregnancy masterclass if you want to attend. It's optional. If you're in Canada, the same. If you're in UK, the same. There are so many people all over the world. There is no country in this world we don't have a member. We have people in China, we have people in Russia, we have people in Korea, we have people in India, and they're sharing their testimonies. If not for HIPAA, so HIPAA is kind of, a way of protecting people's privacy. You could have seen where all these testimonies are coming from, all over the world. There are women that are stepping up and saying enough is enough. And you're getting this free of charge. So if you're gonna be in social media, decide what you're gonna do with the time you spend in social media. If social media is not helping you to share love, it's not helping you to get results, then you don't belong there. If the group where you belong to in social media is not getting the best of you, it's not helping you to love people, leave that social media. If you're spending 24 hours in social media fighting, rebuking, resorting, then what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Is it advisable to use your eggs for IVF at 38 and 39? The criteria of using your eggs or not is dependent on the quality. So when you get for your ovarian egg reserve and your eggs are still good at 38, 39, definitely you're going to use your eggs. But don't do this. If we tell you you don't have good eggs, don't fight it. Some women will insist, I don't, my husband say, hey, then you're going to waste 1 point something or 2 million using an egg that will fail. What we call that is dead on arrival, because even before we begin to look for the eggs, the IVF has already failed. So the criteria of using your eggs or not is dependent on the outcome. So by the time we are challenging your ovaries, we are stimulating the ovaries. If we don't have good eggs, if the cover of your womb is not favorable, then no good doctor will proceed. That's a fact. IVF is what you give that you will get. If you give poor quality egg, you're going to get poor quality outcome. If the sperm is not healthy, it's going to be faulty. So the determining factor, look, let's start out. Nobody wants to use anybody's eggs. But let me ask you, if you got involved in a road traffic accident and you are about dying, and we need to give you blood. Are you gonna be there and be there, oh, my pastor, oh, my husband? No, we are gonna give you blood to survive. That's the same thing that happens in having a baby. Nobody wants to give you anybody's egg. Nobody wants to give you anybody's sperm, but you don't have. When you don't have, what do? You use donor. Unless you don't want to have. Unfortunately, I'm going to say this. If you're not in that category, then you tell yourself the truth. But if you continue to go the way you're going, some of you might end up not having a baby. If you continue practicing what you're practicing now, staying in your lane, refusing to learn, refusing to take those steps, you will end up being the same in 10 years' time. But you can end this today by taking your chances, by taking your options. God has heard your cries. It's now time to take both steps. And I'm challenging you to take both steps. If you know anybody who is having problems understanding their body, having a baby, please invite them. Send them open invitation. Invite them to our page. Invite them to our group. Invite them to our YouTube. Invite them to our Instagram. Every single day you show up in this group, you will learn something. But what I've noticed, because we've been showing up every day, we have now been taken for granted. I am now, come on. People even coming to challenge me because you see me every day. But these are the things you will pay millions of naira to people that won't even give you reports. So use the opportunity you have today. It might not always be available. Time will come when you will check and you will no longer have access directly until you've done the right things. So use the opportunity you have today. I show up in love. I talk to you guys in love. I want you to have your own baby. But you cannot have your baby if you're not doing the right things. If you're going to Lagos, you have to head towards Asaba. You can't be aiming to go to Lagos and you're going to Cotonou. No. You have to go towards Asaba. Two more minutes, then I'm done, okay? What's the cause of constant body hotness at night at 5 weeks pregnancy? You have to check in with your provider. We want to know what's going on. Is it infection? Is it hormone imbalance? Is this something we need to know? At 5 weeks, that's way too early. We actually need to confirm that that pregnancy is viable. 5 weeks is too early. Most women won't even know they're pregnant at 5 weeks. By the time you know you're pregnant, you've already entered about 7 or 8 weeks because your pregnancy starts from the last menstrual period. So it's very difficult to know when you're pregnant at 5 weeks. Every singular pregnant woman, listen to me. There are no assumptions. There are no to do this, do that. When you don't know, you don't know. You call your doctor immediately. The best friend, I've been capture this for me. The best friend a pregnant woman should have is her doctor. And you need to be humble. You need to be polite. You need to be friendly. Some of you are so nasty. Some of you are so bullish. Some of you come in, you be like we signed contract with you from before. You don't even have that thankful spirit. You don't even show that gratitude. You come in like you're entitled. Meanwhile, I don't even know you. But when you're loving, there are so many women I've helped. I don't even know them. They haven't paid kobo. But because of their attitude, because of their good nature, you can't help but help them. Okay. Thank you for coming. Okay. I want the best for you. Don't give up. If you lost your baby today, I'm standing with you in prayers. I'm praying that God will give you that peace. I'm praying you're going to recover. I'm praying you're going to come back and you're going to keep trying. If you saw your bleeding today, you've lost all hopes, it's okay to cry the whole of today. By tomorrow, get up. Once that bleeding stops, keep on firing your PPP. Please, if you need to have a good knowledge of what you can do to have multiple pregnancy, register today. And I'm challenging you. If since you joined my group, you have not given anybody anything, you're not a good member. You are not a good member. If everything you've done in this group is to take from me without giving back, I'm not asking you to give me, don't give me. Go and sponsor another woman. Some of you have been taking knowledge freely, but you haven't given anything. There are some women in attendance today, they don't even have money to go for IVF. They don't even have money to come for the program. But you have excess. So instead of using that money to go and intimidate people in Facebook, some of you have babies, instead of encouraging your friends, you go and use your baby's picture to intimidate your friends. When they come to your timeline, you shout them down. Oh, go and sit down. What do you know about babies when you don't have a baby? How can you be so mean and at the same time claiming to be a Christian? Show some love. The best way you can love people is to give back. So go and select women in this group. Tell the admin, I'm going to sponsor 10 people. It's not going to break your bank. There is no competition. Go and help people genuinely. Use your profession to help people. Sometimes help might not even be money. Just show some genuine care. Don't be overtly critical. Some of us are very quick. Oh, because you did this. What haven't you done? You think God is giving us everything because of what we did or what we didn't do? We won't be here. We've all done stuff. Thank you for coming. My time is up. I love you guys. Tomorrow we're going to find a topic we're going to talk about. But please, let's get this understood. You cannot afford to have infertility in 2022. No. Infertility ends. Admin, capture this. Capture this. Infertility ends in 2021 in SGHS. Admin, capture this. Ebenezer, if you're listening to me, go and put this in big canvas. Most times I don't even know. Things that come in, I just say it the way it is. Infertility ends in this group in 2020. You cannot carry over infertility in 2020. It ends this year. Practically, I'm challenging you. Show up with your baby next year. God bless you. I love you. And no matter what happens, God is still God. Don't forget that God is good. If God woke you up today, God woke you up and God kept you for a purpose. You're going to have your babies. Begin to name your babies. Before I go, can we all name our babies? Can you all tell me the names of your babies? Whether you have them now, Kenneth, starting from you. Can I want you to mention the names of your babies? I want you to tell me, I'm Kenneth, I'm the chief operating officer, and I'm the mother of so. Chinyere the same thing. Anybody in this group believing God for baby? Let me start. My name is Dr. Chudi Ufondu. I'm the proud father of Chizara Ufondu. I'm the proud father of Chidumeje Ufondu, and I'm the proud husband of Chinyere Ufondu. Okay? So this is me. I want you to introduce yourself. So I want you to call forth your babies because you're a mother, because you're a father. You might not see them now, but I'm telling you this. This will happen before you know it. You will blink and you remember I said this today. So call forth your babies. Call them forth today. Let's do that and we end the clinic. I will give an extra 5 minutes for that. So when you come in, if your questions were not answered, definitely I don't select questions. I have so many things to talk about. Sometimes it's not about the questions, believe me. If you can glean on the things I've been explaining, it's even better than whatever you wanted to ask me. That's the truth. There is absolutely nothing you will ask me now that I haven't discussed before. So let's focus on the important things. So introduce yourself, mention the names of your babies. Let's agree on it so we can all go and continue doing our PPP. Look, don't be shy. Look, if you're coming for an interview and I'm asking you a simple question, and some of you are dilly-dallying, some people are just putting the name. I want you to say, I'm the mother of Kamsi. I'm the mother of Chimamanda with the surname. The right name in the baby's passport. And let me tell you the truth. Believe me, if you are blessed today, if you are moved today, share this video with your partner. Some men are very good, but some are very nasty. Nigerian men. Some of them are watching soccer now. After soccer, they will demand food. When they're eating, no, I don't have fish. I don't have meat. How can meat and fish give you babies? My people, stop. Let's stop this nonsense. So please introduce yourself properly. Look at Chiazoka. I want you to introduce yourself exactly the way Chiazoka is introduced. Let me read that on. Chiazoka is the wife of Truma, who are my friends. They are my personal friends. They are the friends of this group. And Chiazoka is the proud mother of Audrey. Chiazoka already has a daughter. And Chukuma, hold on. Then Chiazoka's twin boys, Kosi Sochuku and Okem Denachi. And we are going to be here to celebrate these two amazing people in this group. It will happen. You can go and quote me. You can go and check today's date. It will happen in this group. So I want everybody, before you leave today, to share the names of your babies today. Now, please, before you leave, if you're blessed, go and pick at least one person to sponsor. So show some love. Show love. Show love. When you become, you help others to become. So we're going to quickly wrap up in the next 2 minutes, and we're going to end the clinic. Okay? All right, I can see some people following the simple instructions. And let God be God. Okay? All right. I'm going to go now. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Please play this video over and over again. Okay? Share it with your partner. Share it with your friends. Anybody going through difficult time, when you've prayed for them, when you've encouraged them, give them hopes. There are hopes. We can all become in this group. Okay? God bless you guys. And sincerely, I love you. And bye-bye for now. God bless.